Welcome to the Armchair Detective Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and today I'm going to speak more about Maura's case and some of the information that those online are not aware of, and some of the things that are being shared behind closed doors. The reason I'm deciding to do this is because I'm getting very frustrated in how certain people in the online community are being manipulated by Joseph Anderson, also known as Fulk. And this is why I'm going to share some of this information. And it's probably going to come as a shock to most of you, as in some of these email exchanges, Fulk not only admits to knowing Maura, also admits that claims Maura was a slut, and claims to have murdered Maura and disposed of her body. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm very tired of hearing all this, hatred towards people in the community like Aaron Larkin and Scott Wall, and even now Troy Allen, who may have made some mistakes in making that website, but we have all made mistakes, and there's no reason to attack people. So basically what I'm going to explain, how all this started was I had received a series of emails from Joseph Anderson impersonating Maura Murray and basically asking me to close down my blog, my podcast, and all my social media accounts, my Twitter account, my Reddit account, all those accounts. And finally I got to a point where I could just get, okay, listen, if you can send me some proof that Maura Murray is alive, then sure, I'll close everything. Not a problem. And just a little bit later that day, I received an email. It was an anonymous email which contained several pictures of a stuffed monkey. Now, of course, some of you who have followed Maura Murray's case know that Maura had two stuffed monkeys, and I believe one had disappeared. So basically this was an attempt by Joseph Anderson to make me think that Maura Murray was alive, with with the sole purpose of making me stop looking for Maura Murray. Now, I didn't know this beforehand, but he had actually admitted to having sent these images to me. He admitted this to Aaron Larkin, and now all of the information I'm sharing with you guys I've already saved to Imager, and I'm gonna include a link in the YouTube video, just in the information below. But I'm just gonna go through every single thing here, because you're gonna be talking about James Renner. You know how sometimes he says, "I'm gonna blow your socks off." No, this is really going to blow your socks off. You're going to be shocked. Anyway, so this is a conversation that Aaron Larkin shared with me. And it's Joseph Anderson. He says, in retrospect, I shouldn't have sent the monkey pics, but it was least harmless and seemed amusing at the time. The email you just screenshotted, that's from Armchair's Twitter. Yes, after Armchair posted a SS, you know what you really think I'm capable of threatening. And anyway, it cuts off there, so I don't see the rest of it. But basically, so he's trying to pass this off to Aaron as being some kind of innocent little prank, when in reality, Aaron wasn't aware that Joseph Anderson had been sending me emails impersonating Maura Murray and asking me to close out all my accounts, and that the real reason why he sent me those monkey pictures was in order for me to stop looking for Maura Murray. So that is very sick when you really think about it. So why is Joseph Anderson really trying to get me to stop looking for Maura Murray, and why is he sending me these things in order to get me to stop looking? Now, after this, another thing is I started getting a series of emails from Joseph Anderson using a ton of different email accounts. One of those email accounts was called Lion Clerics, and it's basically LIONCLERCIS at protonmail.com. And what I didn't know at the time, and I actually had to look at the email. I looked at the last little part of the email. I'm like, Eric, my name is in there. That's weird. And then I realized, of course, he did. He put an anagram of my name, my full name, Eric Collins, and used it as an email address. So that's pretty odd, to say the least. But anyway, one of the emails he sent me while using this email address, Lion Clerics, is where he says, yes, it was Sarah Alfieri. So I had asked him who his girlfriend at the time, Maura disappeared, was. And he says, yes, it was Sarah Alfieri. And he said, did you enjoy the monkey pictures I sent you? It was Aaron's idea, but I thought it was funny. So, of course, he's trying to throw Aaron under the bus when, of course, in the other message, it's clear that it wasn't Aaron that sent it or Aaron's idea, but it was actually Joseph Anderson's idea. And the reason he actually sent me the monkey pictures was because he wanted me to stop looking for Maura Murray. Now, as Lion Clerics, and this is another one that I had sent to Aaron Larkin, and now Joseph Anderson has been going online quite a lot on different websites like Reddit and Twitter and saying that Aaron Larkin doesn't have a leg to stand on for her protection order and things like that. Well, under this email address, Lion Clerics, again, it's an anagram of my full name, he sent me an email, which I've also included in these links below, which you can certainly have a look at, where he asks me if I want to see the nude photos of Aaron Larkin. So when this guy is telling you, oh no, Aaron doesn't have a leg no, Aaron does have a leg to stand on. I actually received literally hundreds, if not thousands of emails, where Joseph Anderson sends me very pornographic, how can I say this? Descriptions of sexual acts he would like to perform on Aaron Larkin. So, and I mean, I'm not going to share that because it's very, very graphic and very disturbing. But anyway, for the sake of time, I'm going to keep going. So one of the other emails he sent me from this Lion Clerics account, and I'm not making this up. Again, I'll upload it to, Imager. He says, for the record, Maura was a whore who opened her legs for any COCK. And says, Aaron is the same, but what an ass she has. Do not send this to Aaron. Yeah. So, you know, the imagery that you guys have of this guy is wrong. He's an extremely manipulative person, and he's been doing this online now, for 15 years. This is why on Reddit, he actually bragged about having 15 hard drives, and he bragged on this on the original Maura Murray subreddit, but I'm not sure. He may have deleted it after I brought it up. I'm not sure. But the interesting thing is that the Murrays began having an online presence in 2006, 2 years after Maura disappeared. Well, Maura has been missing since 2004, which is 17 years ago. In other words, he's claiming he's got 15 hard drives. Well, that's one hard drive for every single year that the Murrays had that family forum up. That's pretty sick. Another thing I want to mention is this is another email he had sent me under Lion Clerics, which I've already fully established is him, according to all the information he sent me. It says here, I had sent him an email. The subject line says, "Stop it, Joseph," because he kept sending me email after email after email. So anyway, in this email, he says, you are not interested in the time I met Maura. Okay, I'll leave you in peace. Enjoy your lovely evening. Yeah, that was weird. And so one of the other emails I put up here, and it's again, he's using the Lion Clerics email account. And I've been asking him over and over again now, where is Maura? Where is Maura? Where is Maura? So anyway, I sent him an email. I said, Joseph, where is Maura? I know you're dying to tell me. And his response was south of Waterford in woods next to the Connecticut River on the Vermont side. I don't know what that means. I'm going to read another email here. So the subject line says, "Listen, faggot." Anyway, and it says, "What happened between me and Maura is private and has nothing to do with you. People thinking drowning is a violent way to go, but it can be peaceful if you relax and don't fight it." Yeah, I don't know what to say to this. I mean, that is pretty sick. That's that's an admission of him saying he drowned Maura Murray. Anyway, so this has all been sent to Jeff Strauss and whatnot, but this is beyond insane, and I'm not quite sure why there's so many people that are still trying to protect this guy online. Especially guys like Tim Pilleri and Lan Storina and James Renner. I mean, these three really should know better. Aaron Larkin has a restraining order on this guy for a reason. This guy's a sexual predator. He also has a sexual assault charge dating back to 2013 when he sexually assaulted a woman at a Target. Now he tries to downplay this, but I mean, he was grinding up against this woman. I mean, this is a sexual assault. This is very, very serious. So anyway, I'm going to continue with some of these emails he sent me. So this one's entitled "Confession." "I want you to acknowledge that I am not Joseph Anderson, and I want you to publicly apologize to Joseph and John for accusing them of murder." Now, this is hilarious because he's using lying clerics, and I've already told him that I knew it was him. "Joseph has sent the fake leads and doxed people, but he is not a killer. He's an asshole and should be charged with interfering in an open investigation, but he isn't responsible for what happened to Maura." Now, this is awesome. I mean, he's speaking in the third person. After I have read that, I will tell you exactly what happened that night. I do not think you will be able to infer who I am from what I tell you, but it's something I need to get off my chest. She was never meant to die. So yeah, I mean, this is retarded. It's insanity, right? I mean, wow. And I mean, I have proof that this email is Joseph Anderson, so I'm not quite sure why he's still not, still out and about and not behind bars. But I suppose without a body, it's kind of hard to prosecute. And also the other thing is all these emails he sent me are protonmail.com, and all the protonmail.com is actually protected by Swiss law. And in order to get IP addresses and any type of things like that, you have to get permission from the Swiss government, and that rarely ever happens. So this is why a lot of these emails, they're protected by Swiss law. Being able to say, well, he could easily say, well, no, that's not me. And there's no way for us to say, well, no, it is you. So this is why he's actually playing games, and he's been playing these games for about 3 months, because I know it's him that's involved in Maura's disappearance, and he just keeps playing these games. Anyway, here's another email. So this one says, "TikTok, Eric." And I had asked him, where's Maura buried? And he says, well, the ground was too hard to dig, and the water was frozen. Unless the animals moved her, she's still laying in the woods where I left her. Again, this is pretty sick. Here's another one. This email subject is entitled "Confession." It says, "I wore a Gucci watch for about 5 years and then made the mistake of pawning it at a local shop. I hope I cannot be tracked back to that." Yeah, I mean, you really can't make this stuff up. Here's another one. Again, Lion Cleric, same email. "She isn't buried, Eric. The ground was covered in snow, and the few places where the snow had cleared were rock solid. It was impossible to dig, so she was left out in the open. I'll tell you exactly where and what happened that night if you acknowledge I am not Joseph and apologize. This would prove to me that you are serious about wanting closure. Did you know that when life was about to slip away from her, she called for her parents. Not her boyfriend, her parents. And that's really sick and demented. I don't know what to say here, but I think it's important that this goes out. Perhaps it's going to put a little bit more pressure on law enforcement to get this guy off the street, because he's very, very sick. Here's another one. Yes, I met Maura. It was at a restaurant, and there were a group of us. Maura said she was shy, but she wasn't. Now, I figured out what restaurant this was. Now, back a few years ago, Joseph Anderson had actually sent a false tip to James Renner, and people who've been following for years would understand this one, but anyway, it was a false tip basically stating that, now, of course, James Renner didn't know that it was Joseph Anderson sending the tip because he sent it under an alias. But anyway, the tip said that he had seen Maura Murray's vehicle at Anthony's Pier 4 restaurant in Boston. And so when he sent me this email, it was almost like immediately I knew, okay, well, so he met Maura Murray at Anthony's Pier 4 restaurant. This is what he means. But the weird thing is he says he claims to have taken a picture of of Maura's vehicle and, was going to post it on Topics. And the, post number that he was going to post it on was 2240. And he even sent me, a strange email, which I didn't upload here, but anyway, it was an encrypted email and it was password, protected. And the password was actually 2240. I mean, that's really messed up. And inside the email was an email saying that Pomkick knows the location of Maura Murray's body. So, yeah, it is pretty insane. So here's another email that he had sent me. I am willing to tell you what happened that night, but want you to do something first. Would you be willing to listen to what I want? Yeah, no, I'm not willing to listen to what he wants. That's insane. Anyway, the only other information I had included in this is the email address and the email header, where he sent me this information. I mean, look, this is a drop in the bucket with all the information I have on this guy, and that's already been sent to law enforcement. The other night I had received an email conversation between himself, which I definitely will not share because it is quite graphic. Basically it was him impersonating Bill Rausch and Maura Murray, basically having an email conversation with himself and saying that I was doing sexual acts with Maura Murray's skull. Yeah, I mean, it was really, really demented. And that's why I'm not sharing it with everybody. But listen, this guy is not who he claims to be. He's a sexual deviant. There's a reason why Erin Larkin has a restraining order against him. And I actually had encouraged her to do so. And I'm encouraging my ex-wife to do so as well, as he also emailed her personal work email, sexually explicit messages, which was then taken by her work. Well, she works for the city where we live. So basically it was taken from her work's IT department, and they were analyzing it to see if they can tie his IP address to the emails. He had also sent me a multitude of death threats over the past 5 years. And the St. John Police Department where I live, has a file open under, for the, major crimes unit, where Joseph Anderson had threatened to, for example, bring a knife to my son's school. He had threatened to decapitate my son and, use his severed head to sexually assault my ex-wife. All kinds of extremely depraved things. And you know, like I said, this is a drop in the bucket. This is like the tip of the iceberg. This guy is a real psychopath, and I am 100% certain he's involved in Maura's disappearance. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he's admitted to it. So anyway, that's all I have. But if you ever want to get in touch with me, feel free to. My email address is actually right on a lot of these emails. EricC345@gmail.com. I mean, if you ever just want to say, hey, you know, what else do you have, or do you have any more information? Yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind sharing what I have. The whole point of having this community is for everybody to be aware of what's actually going on. But it really does seem like there's an effort by a certain group of people in the community to hide the truth, and certainly to hide whatever Joseph Anderson has told me. And anyway, that's all I have. Please leave comments, and take care, everyone.